My name's Christy Harrington. I'm a firefighter paramedic with Durango Fire and Rescue, and I've been here for approaching 5 years. Started as many people in this field do in kind of the outdoor recreation field with a woofer, and then slowly over a couple of years, just kept getting higher and higher certifications. I was an EMT working in the ER in Farmington for about a year and really enjoyed it. And that was what kind of inspired me to get into paramedicine. I would say a typical day, we usually get here a little bit before 7, so we can get kind of a pass on from the off-going crew about what they used, what calls they went on. Spend the first little portion of the morning moving into the truck with all my fire gear, wildland gear, medical gear, and then moving into my bunk room upstairs. I like to make my bed first thing in the morning and put my things out so it feels like home. We're here for 48 hours at a time. So it's a third of my life that I live here in this station. So I like to make sure that it kind of feels cozy for me and like a good spot to rest and recuperate. So that's how I start my day, put on all of the uniform, and then come down, and myself and my partner will do a daily truck check on currently I'm stationed on a medic unit. So we check the ambulance, making sure all of the appropriate equipment's there, and then restocking anything that we need to. Following that, usually everyone kind of slowly gathers around the table in the dining room and sips coffee for a little while, makes breakfast, just sort of hang out with everybody, catch up after a 4-day, see what everybody's had going on. And then talk about if there's any kind of plan for the day, any particular trainings that are on the schedule, or any events that we need to be going to, anything like that. If we have students, what kinds of specific needs they have. Newer hires maybe need particular trainings and stuff. It really varies depending on how many calls we're getting. If we're busy, we could be out for quite a few hours of the day and not do much more than that. If it's slow, there's a lot of time to do self-study around the station, or most 48-hour shifts, we try to do at least one fire training and one EMS training so that we're all staying sharp. When you come back from a call, for example, we just finished a call a few minutes ago and came back here, restocked the ambulance, and then go upstairs, and then there's kind of the crew's hanging out, and you get to show back up and pour yourself a cup of coffee and talk about the call and tell some jokes and just get back into the flow of the day. And it's very communal in that way. We just are here living. And at any moment, that living can be interrupted by someone else's emergency. And no matter what we're doing when that emergency happens, it gets dropped, and we go and we help. I think that's the job. That's literally the job.
Trying to see MS1 medic for response first.
The RP is currently doing CPR, stated that his head is cold to the touch but body is warm. Break. Continuing, I have PD en route.
Copy, CPR in progress, PD en route.
1040.
An engine company is usually a minimum 3 people. We try to staff 4, and currently today it is fully staffed, which is cool. Each medic unit has 2 people on it. We also have EMS1 stationed here. So in total today, that's 8-9 people on shift today. And I think tomorrow we have a 4-man engine as well. So we're fully staffed both days. I would say it's relatively rare that all 3 of our in-town engines all have 4 people. It's a hard bar to fill. We have quite a few reserve folks who are available to fill firefighter shifts. like currently we have a whole bunch of people who have just had a baby. Like a lot of our people have just had babies. And so then you have to like backfill these slots, and they may not be firefighter slots that can be filled with a brand new reserve. They might be like longtime paramedics, or they might be engineers. So it just makes backfilling those slots more difficult. It's just a lot to ask. Definitely. To find that many people who are available for overtime and stuff all at once. So the district is broken up geographically with specific ambulances and engines assigned to specific regions. And all of that information is put into the dispatch center so that whenever a 911 call comes in to the dispatch, when they put in the address, it auto-populates which unit is assigned to respond in that area. So here at Station 2, we have 2 medic units. We have Medic 2 and Medic 4. Medic 2 is assigned for, in general, kind of like the grid downtown is, like broadly speaking, their response district. Whereas Medic 4 responds to things like more on the western side of the river, and then like more the northern side of town. And so, yeah, that's just all kind of automatically put into our response matrix within dispatch. Medic 1 is doing most of the southern portion of the district, including the Three Springs area and all the way down to the state line. And we also are responding currently to Fort Lewis Mesa calls, so things really far out on 160 and south. Medic 3 has everything kind of from the rec center, basically north. And then 15 is like the purgatory area, starting essentially at Trimble or Honeyville. Medic 15 starts responding around Honeyville. So for example, if something happens in 3's district, but 3 is currently on a different call, Medic 4 is second due to most of 3's district. So we would go cover that. We cover a lot of District 1 as well as second due. And then there are aid agreements set up with neighboring agencies so that if they need additional units for any sort of event that they can't handle, we could respond to Los Pinos or Upper Pine. Like I said already, we already respond to Fort Lewis Mesa to assist them with transports. We don't have to do it often. Yeah. It's for huge incidents that we would have to do that. They cover their own.
The first day of the 48-hour shift gave a glimpse of mornings at the station, with crew rotations, routines, and calls. The next day highlights the evening side of the shift, as we return for dinner prep and whatever calls come their way.
Technique. Just stab it.
Yeah, you know, food safety is a big deal in a department.
At the station, breakfast and lunch are usually on your own, but dinner is a little bit different. The crew plans and cooks together, taking time to pause and connect as a team. Of course, calls can come in at any moment, sometimes right in the middle of cooking or even while eating.
I feel really fortunate to get along so well with pretty much everybody that I work with, not just at this station, but my whole shift and the entire department even. Picking up overtime on other people's shifts is really fun because you get to hang out with new folks, and again, like, everyone's pretty cool.
Evenings at the station aren't always quiet. Sometimes dinner is cut short as calls begin to pick up. Crews never know what the night will bring, but they stay ready to respond. Tonight, the crew responds to a motor vehicle accident. Calls like these remind us how varied each shift can be, from fires to medical emergencies to rescues and beyond. Every response is about supporting people here in our community. After returning from the motor vehicle accident call, some of the crew finishes daily chores to reset the station. At the end of a 48-hour shift, it's very important to leave the space clean and organized so the next rotation can step in ready to serve, making sure rigs are checked, gears prepped, and the station feels refreshed. Later in the night, units respond to Fort Lewis Mesa, which covers communities like Hesperus, Red Mesa, Breen, Klein, and Marvel. As a smaller department, Fort Lewis Mesa often receives support from Durango Fire and Rescue, Tonight that means helping transport a patient safely to the hospital in Durango.
Engine 2 responding, emergent, Arroyo.
No two shifts are the same. Some are packed with back-to-back calls, others are quieter. But every shift brings something different. No matter the call, crews stay ready, serving the community from their stations here in town and across La Plata County.
I really love like the variety of how my day looks. Like I may have my ideal day and it includes, you know, a pretty predictable schedule of eating things and working out and being with the crew. But all kinds of random things get thrown in there, and it provides for a lot of variety, which is really fun. I like that. That's not the case with a lot of jobs.